Nice fish. Hey guys, Zeno Hromin again. Some of you know me as the author of The Art of Surfcasting with Lures and co-founder of the Surfcaster Journal magazine at surfcastersjournal.com. This is another one in series of videos on how I fish and some of the thoughts. If you read my book, The Art of Surfcasting with Lures, a lot of this stuff is probably going to be familiar to you. There's no script, there is no bullet points. I'm gonna forget half of the shit, but I just sit down and I go like, you know what? There's something that I want to share. I'm not sure if it's gonna help someone, but if it helps one person, it's cool with me. And maybe you can just get inside of my head and see the way I think. Today's subject, you're definitely gonna think that I'm insane because I'm gonna talk about color. I stayed away from talking about color of lures in the individual lure videos that we have, only because I don't put that much of a significance on color. All right, video's over. Okay, it's not that simple. If you read my book, you probably see that I said that I don't care about the color as long as it's yellow, right? And yellow, and yellow, and yellow, and you get my drift, right? Okay, so, you know, to some extent, some person would say, what's with you in yellow? I mean, most of the bait are not yellow. If they're shaded slightly, they're not yellow. It's a confidence thing. It's a confidence thing. I know it's not supposed to be that. You're supposed to be the hottest. You're supposed to have the hottest damn plug that anybody can paint, but that just 99, I'm gonna say 99%. I'm gonna say 90% of the fucking shit that you throw is confidence. It's not the plug that you have, the color that you have. It's the confidence in whatever the hell you throw in that you're working it properly. Fish have brains about that big, okay? They don't really say, oh, that's a darter, that's a needlefish, I don't want it. Now, granted, there'll be a million times when a guy's gonna be banging the plugs, banging a fish on this plug, and you have another plug, and you'll be like, I wish I had his plug. And you know what? That happens a lot. And profile of the bait and all that other stuff does make a big difference. And color at times will drive you absolutely up the wall. But 9 out of 10 times, the color will not make that much of a difference. It just won't. But why do we gotta have it? Well, you gotta have it for the times that it matters. See? So you can't get away from just saying, well, Zeno's just fishing yellow and, I can just go with yellow. No. What I'm going to tell you is that when I have a yellow needlefish on and the first cast of the night, I'm thinking fish. Okay? You give me something else, I'll be like, all right, maybe there's fish here. With yellow, I'm thinking fish. Yellow darter, I'm thinking fish. Yellow popper, I'm thinking fish. I don't know why. I have a lot of confidence in those particular lures. But colors, but having said that, you give me a yellow, I don't know. I don't really have anything that I don't have confidence in because I don't carry stuff I don't have confidence in. Do I have anything here that I don't use as much? Not really. My point is this. Give me Rapala something yellow. And I'll be like, okay, it's just a plug. I mean, I have zero confidence in it. You see what I'm saying? It's not the color. It's the plug. It's always the plug. You going to go with your plug. You're going to live and die with what you know. The actual color, does it make a difference? Yeah, we'll go over that and why I think what makes a difference. But for the most part, what my point is if you can get confident in the lures that you use, you'll see that the color is not going to be as big of a difference maker as you might think. That's all I'm saying. That is literally, I just spent 5 minutes trying to tell you that, but I may be trying to illustrate the point. But that's basically what it is. There's some crazy colors that I am super confident in, and then there's some regular colors by some famous quote-unquote plug makers that I can't catch a damn skate on, so I don't know. I mean, So I think the confidence plays a big part. All right, so the way I look at it, the colors, is obviously you're trying to match the bait fish that you think is present at the time. I mean, this is a no-brainer. This doesn't require you to be a Sharpie or book writer or, an article writer or seminar speaker, okay? We all know this shit, okay? This is not out of this world. So you're going to try to match the colors to the bunker in the spring when it comes in, maybe in the herring late in the fall, green for sand eels, or greenish olivish, whatever you want to call that. When you're using your SP minnows or your thin kind of needlefish in the fall. Bunker, you might want to use bunker color kind of plugs in the summertime. We used to have one bluefish used to raid bunkers in the back bay. Boy, those days seem like memories these days. So my point is, okay, so you will use those kind of colors to try to match the bait. The other school of thoughts is use the light in the daytime and dark at night. Okay, so darker plugs at nighttime, lighter plugs in daytime. That also works as a general rule. There's nothing wrong with either one of those. I tend to use less white at night, okay, and more white in the daytime, personally. Having said that, and this is crazy because we're talking plugs, right? But now you're talking about bucktails. I use white bucktails at nighttime 99.99% of the time. I don't even think about what color my bucktail is most of the time, right? How crazy is that? Do you spend all this time thinking about, I don't want white dot in my bag, I only got 9 slots, I don't want white needlefish because I want to have the yellow and black, and then you throw on a bucktail and you go like, oh, I'm just taking white. Really? I'm seriously, I sound stupid because that's just stupid when you think about it in those terms, okay? So my point is, I'm not sure. Mullet run. Mullet run is my pet peeve. Mullet run, yes. Well, for you that don't remember, there used to be a mullet run. Seriously, they should have existed. It's not like unicorn, okay? Or, it did exist, and the thing was, the school of thought was you throw blue plugs during mullet run because the mullet look blue and they're, matching the hatch and fish won't hit anything. That's fine. And if 99 guys or 100 on a beach are casting blue plugs and catching fish on blue plugs, what do you think most of the fish are going to be caught on? Blue plugs. Okay, so it becomes a law. That's one thing. The second thing is, the mullet are blue up on the top. Underneath, every bait fish is usually light in color, right? So did the bass actually see that they're blue? I mean, they are underneath them. They're not on top of it. There's only a seagull on top of them because mullet, it's right on surface of the water, so the blue's not even seen. So when you think about it, those terms, it doesn't really make a sense. Although, granted, when they try to get away, they do go under and they do flash the side and the blue might be showing it. I get it. My point is sometimes we make a lot out of something that, in my opinion, it's really not that important. Okay? I think working the plug, any plug, properly is 8/10 of your key to success. Okay? Sometimes not having the right color, it will leave you with no fish. So that will happen. I'm not going to say that it didn't happen to me and it won't happen again. So light colors in a daytime, yellows, whites, darker colors at nighttime, stuff like sluggo. I don't really fish white sluggos. I only fish black sluggos. I don't use them in the daytime. I only use them at nighttime. That's just the way I fish. Okay, this is, after all, my video. Somebody else will probably have a totally different opinion. When I use a popper at night, which I use a lot when the conditions warrant that I can't get anything else out there, I would use this black and purple popper with a black, what is that called? Hackle feather, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to use a white one. Okay, so dark plugs at night, it works. Okay, I mean, for me, mindset works. This is blue and white. This is like a perfect mullet color, what we talked about before. This is Gary Soldati's little pikey. It's real nice plug. So, would I go with something like black and purple pikey, black and purple daughter, At nighttime, again, you'll see a lot of black and purple bottle. I'm not a big black and black guy, like pure black. Listen, there is no bait out there. There is no bait out there. There is one color from top to bottom. 100% of the bait that I know of, white bellies, whiter, lighter, and darker on the top. So there's no sense in having all black, whatever. Not that it doesn't work. Don't get me wrong. Everything works. Your grandmother's spoon in a blitz works. Okay? But that doesn't mean that you must have all black or all yellow. Most of the, if you're going to try it, be fair and try to match the hatch, you will tend to gravitate to a lighter belly on a lure. So that's kind of normal, okay? If you wanted to use, if you're in a situation where you're in a Cape Cod Canal or anywhere where there's a lot of mackerel, we don't have mackerel a lot on Long Island anymore, especially not inshore, okay? But they have a lot. I mean, but for whatever reason, I'm always infatuated with these plugs. Yellow pencil popper, yellow super strike needlefish, yellow, I'm sorry, why do I keep saying yellow? Mackerel, 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 another mackerel, another mackerel. Why do I have so many mackerels when I don't even have mackerel? Does this make any sense to you? You know why? Confidence. For whatever reason, I like mackerel plugs. I like them. I'm not even saying the fish like them. I like them. And they work for me. And I keep using them. Although I haven't seen a mackerel inshore on Long Island in 30 years. And yet, I do well with them. I swear to God. So, you see where I'm going with this? Pink. When squid are around, it's usually the prime color. You know? I don't have a green. We have something like this. Oh, yes. This is, olive green kind of plugs where you're fishing sand eel run. When you're on sand eels, you want to kind of match that with the thing that they're feeding on. SP Minnow, for whatever reason, for me, Smoky Joe, black or white, it's a plain color that works day and night, or mostly at nighttime. I don't throw them much in the daytime. Herring, another great color to have in your bag, especially late in the season when herring are around. Obviously, if you're fishing places where there's herrings more prevalent, it's good to have them all the time. It doesn't happen by us that much. Stuff like yellow darter. I mean, Jesus Christ, are you even allowed to go to Montauk without yellow darter? Do they still stop you at 27 and says if you don't have yellow darter, you got to turn around and go home? I mean, there is not a guy in Montauk that fishes, when a fishing was good, that doesn't have yellow darter at any point on the season. I don't care what bait it is. They could be feeding on seals that don't have yellow darter. I'll have 2-3 of them in my bag. I don't think I can live without a yellow darter. My point, that's not relevant to the bait that's there. Or somebody says the way the light from the lighthouse hits the darter when the light swings around and look yellowish, or the bottom of Montauk is kelp and it looks in reflection. Yeah, look, it's fine. Whatever it is, it works. It works and we all use it and we do great. My point is, maybe sometimes we overthink this shit. Maybe you just get a confidence in the lure and then make that plug work for you. I was going to use another term, but I said, you know what, this is a family-friendly broadcast here. Will I use a lot of this when I chase weak fish? Oh boy, you see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm going to go all pink most of the time. Pink jelly worms, pink sluggos, pink bucktails, anything's going to be pink. Trailers, pink. I mean, do they feed on squid? Yeah. I mean, that it works. For me, it works. But, I don't catch that many weak fish, so when I get into them, I'm almost fearful for changing whatever works to try different stuff because I'm feeling I'm never going to get another fish, if that makes any sense to you. Trailers, obviously, that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other ball of wax. I mean, this is great. I just want to show you this because years ago, if you did this has been in my bag for like 3 months now. If you did this with your pork rind, oh my God, you'd find this crumpled up little pork rind, you know, in a state like this where you have to take a pliers to cut it off, all dried. Now with the otter tails and with the fat cow, you know, this can stay on over winter in here, and you know what? You don't have to put it back in the bag, and you can just use it next spring, and just as good as new. White, I hate to tell you this, but white, and I see guys using these trailers. I bet you Uncle Josh sold more white or white and red trailers. You know, white and red are popular because obviously it's red on the top, so it's not even that it's red on the top, it's just a darker top and white on the bottom. Again, so, you know, to me, the colors are important. Somebody said the colors are not important until they become important. So the night they are important, and if you don't have whatever's hot, you will hate yourself. Are you going to carry 300 plugs so you have always all the colors? No, you're not going to do it. No one has the ability to do that. But I feel that even if I'm outfished a little bit, outfished, if that's even a word, a little bit, I could deal with that. As long as I know that the plug that's in the water, I have total confidence in. Now, something should be said about this too, because this is kind of crazy. This is like a mental game. Think about this. You have a lot of confidence, or I do, in a yellow darter, let's just say, okay? And I know that if there's fish there, I'm going to catch a fish because I like yellow darters. And then you give me like, I don't know. I don't even know the color of the darter that I'm not confident in. But let's say you give me, I don't know, black over pink. And I'll be like, well, I have no confidence in this. I don't think it works like that. See what I'm saying? Darter, the Super Strike darter in particular, I don't care what you painted. I don't care if Arsenal comes and paint banana all over it and I go fish off the boat. I know what that darter can do. So the color becomes less of an importance. That's my whole point, okay? That's my whole point of this. The colors, if you stick to the basics, on a night use a darker color, in the light use lighter colors, on a new moon, when it's darker out, you use darker colors. On a full moon, you use lighter colors. So use a full moon like a daytime and new moon like a nighttime. So that works for me. I always put my plugs in my bags like that. So on a dark moon, when there's very little ambient light, I'll put the darker plugs in, blacks, black and purples, and stuff like that. I'm always going to have a yellow. And then one night, I came off the beach. I was banging fish on a white darter. Manny Moreno, I remember on the Jones's Reef, we both swam off the rocks and we came in and he's like, I didn't know that was you. I was like, yeah, it was me. He's like, and again, Manny's 100 times better fisherman than I am. But he's like, I couldn't touch a fish. And you were banging him on every cast. And he's like, what were you using? I said, white darter. He's like, fuck. He's like, that's the only thing I don't have in my bag. It was a new moon. He's like, why would you put a white darter in your bag on a new moon? I'm like, I have no idea. I probably stayed over from daytime. I was fishing in the dusk. My point is, I'm not that smart. I just got lucky. So sometimes you got to get lucky, and that's just fine. Okay, so get to know your plug, and then worry about color. Stay within the ranges of whatever's accepted. I'm sure you'll do very well. See you at the beach.